50-ball race.
Okay, Warren had an equal record to Ralph Eckert in his group, but had fewer balls made, which was the decider. Jayson finished third in his group. Neither one is a habitual or traditional straight pool player, but Kiamco has just won the Steinway Classic,
Yeah.
and they certainly can play.
Jayson Shaw was the first one to run a 100-ball out, too.
That's absolutely correct. So really good players can figure out even this nuanced game.
One of the gentlemen inducted into the 14.1 Hall of Fame, Mr. Jim Remby. That's the photo from last night.
And had many kind words from folks out on the stream about the commentary, particularly when King James sat in the booth. Strangely enough, I'd never met him, and then somewhere in the middle of the commentary, I turned to him and I said, "Hey, aren't you the guy on those videos of how to run 100 balls and how to run straight pool?" Because he absolutely, unsurprisingly, knows the game.
Yeah, I would say so. And he said that he might stop in this morning and offered to sit in if he has some time. So we'll see when Jim gets here.
Okay, Jayson, the typical situation you see in a well-executed opening. Break shot, cue ball parked up there close to the rail on the one diamond. Maybe something winking out, but very far away and no clear idea how bad to get a second ball. The opening shot in straight pool is almost always a tester. And that's what very frequently happens to even the very, very best players.
Can't do that against Jayson Shaw, though. You can't take those risks because he can lay a 100-ball run on you, as we just mentioned, in a heartbeat. And that'll put him just 50 balls away from taking you off, taking down the win on this match. And don't blink when he starts getting on a run, I'll tell you right now, because this young man can swing them, as many of you know. They don't call him Eagle Eye for nothing. And then coming out of Scotland and playing a lot of the black ball pool, you know, with the snooker-type design pockets on those tables. Man, they're brutal. So just all that muscle memory from firing into a tight pocket. This must seem easy to him, you know,
right.
when he got here.
Okay, it's interesting. Those tables, I don't know if you've ever seen Italian pool, Gringiano, with the pins in the middle. Has the same pockets, but there's another dimension in the game, hitting the pins.
Well, you know, just to bring you up to date, last year before this 14.1 was started here, Jayson started to practice. He was regularly here at the Steinway Billiards Cafe, now residing in Connecticut, but last year he was residing here locally. He started to practice straight pool, and he ran 279 balls, not playing straight pool ever,
right.
You know, just warming up. Plenty of witnesses here on premises. It wasn't videotaped, but plenty of people here. They couldn't believe how well he played it. You know, when you got the kind of talent
right.
that this young man has, I guess everything else is just secondary. Just put him in the pockets. But, you know, the only thing he can do is get better from here if he keeps playing the game, because
right.
he's going to recognize all the patterns. Not that he doesn't see him. He might see him now, you know.
Right. Well, straight pool knowledge, you know, we make this holy thing about straight pool and the patterns and the tradition. But, for example, Efren Reyes back in the 90s, I think in his first straight pool tournament, won the thing. Learning as he went. And
that's what I mean by natural talent. Just
right. And some of these pros, I've been watching the games this week, and situations have come up when they don't know the rules. because it's just not their game. But
I think he just got married to the 7-ball.
mm-hmm. Okay. So there's a problem with collisions, folks. You don't know.
Well, he went into the cluster
Right.
pretty well, but the cue ball just nestled up against the 7 there, stopping him from having the one as a shot.
Yeah, well, that's one of the nuances of straight pool, is the difference between how can I get into a cluster and exactly how can I get into a cluster so I don't wind up fanning at things, and now he's safing.
Watch the pocket.
He's going to be good there, but he's trusted to distance. And distance doesn't always work with the pros. So Kiamco's quite lucky that he only had to sit on that chair for 5 balls, and now he's back with a stick in his hand.
And I don't know exactly who took this photo. It might have been Charlie Ames. This is one of the group photos taken before the tournament.
Okay. Working into a cluster with the insurance ball down there on the rail.
Charlie Ames is the, sorry to cut you short, is the official photographer for the 14.1 World Tournament.
Okay. And by the way, speaking, I think our tournament director, John Lehman, called the folks watching the stream this early in the morning early birds. I don't think you guys are birds at all, maybe just roosters. But as you're looking at the screen here and you see all these wonderful folks who have made this event for you, from Charles Ames Photography to Pool and Billiard to Andy Cloth and Kamui, OBQs, when you're making your consumer decisions about things, remember these people and reward them for their sponsorship.
Absolutely. Even just an email. You know, if you email them to the companies and let them know
That's
how much
right.
you see.
Absolutely. Let them know that their advertising money has been well spent.
Sure. And just receiving those letters can bring smiles to their faces, because it's definitely bringing smiles to ours, knowing that we can come here and watch these true champions from not only locally but from around the world.
Okay, so touchy combination and position. And again, on the monitor, we can't see as well as we would like to. I think that's clear. I think that's clear. Sure.
He can make the 3. He can take the 7. The thing is, if he takes the 7, he's got to make sure he gets back in that kind of line for the 3, which is a small window. And then just draw back off of that and have a really, it's going to be a tough break shot. The 13 is far away from the pack, but still makeable and used as a break shot.
Okay, by the way, some of our patrons and sponsors are medical folks, and we don't want your dedication to the game to go to the extent that you're going to become sick or injured just to thank them.
Michael
Fedak. But do thank them. And Dr. Fedak last night had some nice things to say about the stream. Okay, he's bumped. And my boothmate shook his head slightly, okay, because
what he did was he not only bumped it, he bumped it up higher.
Right.
He tried, and he bumped it up to your left side of your monitor also, but still a difficult shot for a break shot. And he's going to go 2 rails back out And he's got to create the real sharp angle to
Okay.
get to the pack. And from here, he might catch the bottom of the pack.
Yeah.
The bottom ball of the pack. He might just nudge it. All right. So anyway, it's 77 Sunset Strip. And Warren Kiamco is on a run of 7.
Okay, by the way, just saw room owner Manny Stamatakis come in bringing more good food. You may not even like pool. This is a good place to eat.
Yeah, and a lot of people do just come here for food, and he does have a takeout person delivering food. So, yes, locally, a lot of people do call up. See, I don't know. He's going to have to really pop this and catch the C. He caught the bottom ball. He caught the 6.
Okay, and
missed the break.
Missed the break and may have, even at his fantastic pro level, may have been looking at the cue ball instead of the object ball when that cue was released. So
well, he's left. I'm sorry. He's left a shot for Jayson Shore to come back. The 14 definitely doesn't go by the 4. So Jason's going to have to work his way down to the 6 to use that as a break, or use the 2 if he can get through that needle head of between the 14 and the 4. If the 14 goes, then he's got a chance. But it doesn't go. Definitely doesn't go from our point of view anyway. Unless he thinks something is dead. They're playing the combination. I like playing the 13 coming around, spinning out the top short cushion, 2 rails, left long cushion, back down to the right side of the 6 ball, and busting the stack, or just at least going into him and spreading him open a little bit more. See what Jayson does here. I don't like trying to play pinpoint position between that 4-14, and he's looking at it. He's looking at it. That's exactly where I want it.
Right.
Exactly where he just laid his cue stick. Upstate House pretty well awake. I'm getting more sleep as we progress. So we're going to be sitting in, Gene, and you're going to see some professional diagnostic shots by Upstate Out, because you're getting me trained.
Wait a second. Turn your head, because he cancel that letter because he went for the combination, which.
All right, give me half of the benefit of the doubt. Gee whiz.
And
see, now he's okay, because he can get to the 6 ball and he'll have a good chance.
No, wait a second.
No, this is no good.
No, I don't think so.
Unless he's going to cut the 7, and he's got really.
I'm thinking we're crowded along that right side long rail, and unless there's a Christmas present under the tree. Wait,
Let's listen in. Playing the 7.
Playing the 7.
Yeah, he's got to back cut the 7. Yeah.
Okay. So 150 points is at the moment devolving slowly.
You know, it all goes back to that opportunity of that 6 ball to play that 13 in the corner and then come down short for that 6 and then bust it up.
Right.
But instead, he wound up behind the 2-6 on that cushion, forced to cut that back cut 7. You know, making things a little more difficult. You know, it's easy for us to see from this point of view. We have a little more time, and when you're up there at the table, it's sometimes you're just tunnel vision.
Right.
You know. So Warren makes one. And Warren's on a run of 2. Oh.
Ooh. Well,
Hey, tie score. What do you think about that?
well, I think the players, with consideration for each other, it being early in the morning in pool terms, are making sure their opponents don't sit too long and doze off.
Well, Warren's going to be sitting for a little while. I got the news from. Then again, look at Jayson Shore.
My goodness. Okay.
Does he take the? I don't even think the 15's cuttable.
Okay, he's going upstream, cueing with high left, it looks like, on this tiny ball. Bango. That's just how I shoot him when I'm asleep.
You know, Earl Strickland sat in, and anytime Jayson Shore had a shot like that was long back cutting, no matter what it was a long shot. Earl would just say, he's making this. He makes all of these straight in. And you just witnessed that.
Okay, nice to be able to do that when you get yourself awkward.
Would like to say hello to everybody in Scotland if you're up early in the morning, or if it's wee hours of the morning or late at night. I think
No, it's let's see, Scotland would be, I believe, 5 hours later. So they're in cruising into dinner time.
Well, good evening, everybody. We know the family tunes in.
Right. And important election. I think it's coming up this month in Scotland when they're voting on independence.
Oh, cool.
It's only been, 300 and something years with the Brits. Okay, down to the bottom rail to get that angle. And seems to me we've seen a rather atypical number of behind the rack break shots from this TV table. I don't know what it is, but we've been behind them almost as frequently as it seems as a conventional top of the rack break. Just how the table is played. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to bounce out to the center of the table, and that's not Mr. Shaw's fate.
I don't know if you heard us from here. Did you hear us from here when you said Mr. Shore? He kind of looked over at us, unless he was just giving us the smile at the commentators booth because he can't believe what he did, just blowing off steam.
Did you hear the call?
I think he called the one ball,
yeah,
straight up. Right in the upper left-hand corner, I believe. And he made it.
Boom.
Great shot.
Youth. Vision. Talent.
Absolutely.
Nope, covers that pocket. So these hard rack to call because the situation changes with every collision. Here he is, back looking up at the balls. Oh.
Warren Kiamco calling the 15. Jayson Shore put up 21 on his side. I guess I'm wrong.
And, okay. Kiamco gets closer to his work.
Jayson Shore had 19. 19 and 3 is 22. But he has 21 up on the scoreboard. So we're going to keep the score like this. If there's any discrepancies, at least we have it.
Right.
Okay, but we do not get involved unless we are asked to go back to the recording or not. This will be really huge if it comes down to 1 or 2 balls. When Warren Kiamco stepped up, there was 12 balls left, meaning that there was elimination of 3. And Jayson had 19, which makes it 22. Now Warren Kiamco is up.
Okay. So there's that orphan up there, that 7 ball, and sometimes, sometimes, you know, if you have one orphan up there, it winds up being a key ball, but it's very hard to imagine that from that position. Okay, so when does he deal with the 7?
6.
It's a, I'm, you know, again, it's a 6 ball. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm colorblind too, and they're little. Yeah,
We got the right guy in the booth.
That's right, and I'm facing the wrong way on the chair.
The
so
ball
it's
up in the
yeah,
left-hand side.
That one, you see it, folks. Yeah, I thought he was going to leave that for a setup ball, but he decides to manage it to the darkness now. Okay, we can. I think we can figure out what the key ball is going to be, but still not on him. Okay, now he's going to be okay.
You know, Warren fools me. I'm going to say it's going to be the 9, but you know, Warren's capable of using.
No, it will. It is. It is. Trust me until he does something different. Okay, there it is. But all right, little close to the rail, a little steep, and in fact, problematic. Because now you have to do something besides just stop.
Well, being that close to the rail, he's just
right. Okay, wound up.
All right, so Warren Kiamco runs 12. Should bring his score to 21.
Okay, I think we may have a correction of score from our timekeeper. Okay, we know what. No, can't be that. Has to add up to 42. There have been no scratches. Yeah.
So then we're
Short
wrong.
has said 21-21, I think, because we know we can't get another ball. It's the 14 times table.
Right.
Okay.
So we're good.
We're good. And this time, this break shot Kiamco made, unlike the last one. Okay. Even though Kiamco seemed to be a little displeased with what happened to that second ball, he's fine. This is I think the game is about to take a bit of a rhythm. King James Rempe is in the room.
Fantastic.
Okay. Okay. Taking enough time that I'm thinking that he hasn't quite figured out yet what the last three balls are, even as wide open as this rack is. And now you've got to have it. Okay, very frequently, key ball's a side pocket shot because you can manipulate the cue ball on this plane where you want it. Okay.
I know, I've seen it.
Not stuck.
Are they not keeping score on the other side of the scoreboard over there? They're still 21-21.
Well, he had the whole thing, so it's got to be 35,
yeah.
right? Okay, I think he's figured the only option is to go upstream. Nope, wants to think about this again.
One.
Okay, back to his original plan B, I think, which is the 1.
Yes. And he missed.
And the subway doesn't come through.
So he did make the open and break shot.
Mm-hmm.
Brings him to 36. Jayson Shore now up at the table. Going to take a peek over at Johnny Archer and Stalev.
Yeah, it shows, again, we haven't been watching that game, but it shows Stalev with 96, and I don't know if...
I don't believe that's the
maybe
score.
it's... And I don't see any scratch. There must have been some scratch play, I'm thinking. Oh. Nice to have that duck. Jason's inherited a very open table.
Johnny Archer just changed his score to 25. So he must have left one ball off.
As I said, he inherited a really open rack.
Well, he went into a few of them and nudged them out of the rack. He's got the 14 line. Oh, don't want to bump it too far out. I'm pretty sure the 8's going to be his key ball, or you can use the 3 if he gets up high.
Right. No, it's going to be the 3.
Yeah, now it is, because he's going to float up the table, so he can just play the 3 into the side pocket. Could be straight as possible, too. And he'll have the perfect angle for the break shot.
Yeah, there we are.
Or you can elect to go one rail and come back out. There you have it. So Jayson...
He was probably going to do that. He heard you and figured,
runs 13 balls and now has a score of 34.
Take this upstate, Al.
They don't want to listen to me.
Okay, these players are being very defiant all week long. We call the shots and they cross us up.
See if we can catch a score. Stolly,
Yeah, that's
Johnny. See what the update is here. We'll get back to that score in a little bit. Solid. Watch out, 8.
okay. So Stalev was in negative numbers because his total now, he ran a rack and it's now 14. So we didn't have a machine gun Lou Butera 100 balls. It didn't happen that way.
Once again, that 15 ball's coming into play in front of the 8, just like when the 6 was lying there with the 10 ball. And 2 racks previous to this one. Jayson going in and bumping things out. 7 to the 15. I don't really like it, but makeable.
Yeah.
That just puts another ball in position over there with the 8. Right now, that's the 8, 15 are lying pretty good. So you might not want to touch that, but you might not have any option from here. I think what he's doing is thinking about the 12 into the. He's playing a 15 ball, 7-15, touchy shot. 7 goes to the other side of the table. Came out pretty well. If that 12 ball goes by the 7, he might take that now. Going to take the 8 out of the equation here.
Mm-hmm.
And he might go across and bust out the 6, just nudge it.
That was not. Yeah, I think that's what he indicated he was aiming for.
Yeah.
But that's not what he got.
Well, young eyes, so he can make these long distance and hard angle shots. Earl said like the best in the country, so. He's going to have to get to the left side of that table. Right now he could slide over and start working that 6 ball out of there.
But another.
See, instead of bring that cue ball, then shoot it.
Now this is not neat stuff right now because, okay, you can hit the eagle eye, you can hit the upstate two ball. Yeah, but you got a bridge funny, and this looks like an easy combination. You get embarrassed on these.
Boy, oh boy!
Yeah, look at that. It's not mortal, but
does the 6 go in the side or the 13? I would imagine he's going to have to get those out of there, Gene.
Yeah. Okay.
Playing the combination once again, and he's going to nudge the 6 out now, create a brace shot. That's what he's going to do, and play the 11. Ooh, he missed the 6 ball. He's going to go up too high here.
Yeah, we had. So I got a very nice email from Steve Lipsky, or a posting on Facebook, and Steve Lipsky, is called a New York player called Stevie Patterns, and I think on
Shoot
this
out of
rack.
Amsterdam Billiards. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think parts of this rack, Jayson has been like Lemony Snicket, a series of unfortunate circumstances. But he's okay now. Going to be.
Going to use the 12. And he got the stack, didn't he? He got the whole rack, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not textbook, but there he is.
He got out.
Yeah.
48 from Mr. Shaw. See if we can get a glimpse over at Johnny Archer and Salih as Johnny Archer is at the table. It's 23 to 8. Looks like they might have took some intentional fouls.
Yeah,
Went
there must have been
backwards.
that early in the game.
I wish Steve Lipsky was here. We'd throw him right in the booth with Gene and Jimmy Rempe. I'm going to grab Jimmy by the... Oh, we missed the break shot by Shore. We apologize for that. That's how guys out in the truck.
Okay.
I pass the blame to everybody. Uh-oh. Wow. Kind of
Hey.
banked that in, huh? Played it.
Hey,
every
come
ball in
on.
that pocket.
Hey, come on. It's going to fall in. Don't worry. Don't be nervous.
Until it hangs up. Then get nervous. 6 ball will break the cluster open a little bit more. He's got the 10 ball right there. And the 14 gets right in the way. Take the 3 out, and you got 2 choices of a break shot. I like the 11 better than the 1. Take the 3 and you just draw back a little bit. And you got plenty of safety balls there. An opportunity to take out the 10 and the 14. Then you can decide on which break shot you want to use. You can use either one as a key ball, you know, and come 2 rails or 1 rail back up for either ball for a break shot. I kind of like that multiple choice.
Except he looked at your shot and then he said, that upstate Al, I'm not going to give him any credit at all. I'm just going to cross him up.
I'm only trying. You know, I'm so used to streaming the 8 ball, and 9 ball, and 10 ball. And, I wish I can do some more 14.1, which it's not as popular as it should be.
That's right.
You know, it's a great game. Right now, he can either go 2 rails or just 1 rail right back up. He's got to get that angle on the 11.
Okay, going.
Oh, he's
Little
got to
inside.
get that angle.
Yeah, he'll be fine on this one.
Got enough of it. All right, so once again, Jayson Shore now runs another rack at 62. 236 in favor of Jayson Shore. And on the other side of the board, it's 23 to 8. So they didn't change yet. This has been a tough rack for Johnny Archer and Staliv on that second table. And I believe Danny Baruti and Earl Strickland are playing adjacent to that table on table 14. And if any of these two should end early enough, which I don't predict, but we can always swing over to Danny Berruti and Earl Strickland's match also. Right now, the feature table is Jayson Shaw, so he can only catch the bottom. He didn't have as much angle as I thought he should have, and he's an unhappy camper.
I can tell you what table on the back wall, Mike DeShane, as of the last track, is 87-36 over my friend Eddie Kwok. Jayson is looking up to the ceiling for divine guidance.
Jayson takes an intentional foul. See, I believe we'll see Warren do the same.
Mm-hmm.
Round two, folks. Somebody hit the light.
Well, it's a good thing that these cans are metal shades, because that was that Russian pool cue.
27 ounces or something?
I was going to bring mine in to show Upstate Joe, but I couldn't find a case that was long enough for mine. I got a 62-inch Russian butterfly cue. It would have, if it was a glass lamp or plastic lamp, it would have broken. Boing.
They make them that heavy because of the Russian billiard game? Is that
Yeah,
they make
and they're really, really skinny. And
there you see the intentional foul by Warren Kiamco, so we're on our way going backwards.
okay.
Just nip the ball and come right back to where you're at. He moved to 13, he did. And put it right back. It's a great shot as long as the 7 ball doesn't have a shot into the side pocket. He should be okay. So Warren Kiamco on 1 at this point. As Jayson Shaw makes a clean hit. The score now 23-13 in favor of the Scorpion on that side.
Okay.
Neither player on 1 foul now.
Oh, yeah. Clean the board, and guess what? That ball is staying nestled up to that 13. It's like a honeymoon.
You know, Jayson can just nip the 12 and then put the cue ball right behind the 6. I don't even know if he hit the 12. I guess he did. So see if he changes his score. I guess he did nip the 12. We just didn't catch it.
Push up, push and stick. Now we have start putting balls up table to make safes more difficult.
You know, sometimes when you move in a pack like that, and I'm not saying that these guys are not familiar with straight pull, but a lot of times you'll see a really sharp straight pull shooter that's known for playing straight pull walk around that stack.
Right.
Because the littlest nudge might.
That's right. Set
put
something dead, right?
Right.
Right. It rolls up as a foul.
Warren Kiamco
Back
on his
scratch.
way back to 34. And we might see Jayson do the same. He's gonna nudge the 12.
Okay, so Kiamco on 1.
Now, was that a trap by Warren to keep that cue ball on that side of the table? Did he notice something that Jayson didn't stop and take a look at? We'll soon find out. Folks, I also want to remind you about AccuStats Make It Happen events coming up November 6th through the 9th. Make sure to check out accustats.com, ACCU-STATS.com. Also, they'll be down and streaming the U.S. Open October 13th through the 18th. So, be a good thing to check out, accustats.com.
Okay,
Pat
so
Fleming and crew. Go ahead, Gene.
okay, so we'll wait till. Okay, Kiamco's still deliberating. So our thanks, as always, to Captain Ken A. Lee, U.S. Navy retired, the submariner who has been running around the room getting us scores. So Earl Baruti, Earl is leading 86-9. Max is playing John Schmidt. We'll wait till the shot. Okay, so the scratch is off, and now Jayson will have to think. So, so Max is leading John Schmidt 50-14. The other Scott in this tournament, Johnny Fulcher, is leading Corey Duell 47-19, and Dr. Bob Medengian, who did a great job in the booth, 53 against Kevin Clark from Scranton, who also did a great job in the booth, 11. Bang.
That's
Oh,
those long shots.
Those young eyes, those young eyes.
Long shot, split the pocket, never touched any part of the pocket. Right in the heart. No fear. Again, he says, well, he's going to have to shoot either the 6 or the 15. His choice. Got in and out of the pack. Just wanted to bust open the cluster. I thought it was a little too hard. He really didn't have to power it that much, but he wanted to make sure he got back out. Playing the 6. Well, he's got a nice shot here to go into the 3. And nudge the 12, 5, and 8 out of there. Only caught the 12.
Reaching around the, so put him above the balls, or now you want to decide to go into the balls. And that's
okay.
fine, that's fine, yeah.
Watch the window. Watch the window. Just a couple more inches. It would have been nestled right between.
That's right. A hairbreadth. If that was my shot, it would have stuck to those balls. I'm telling you.
Right in between them.
That's right.
All right, Jayson, sure. Did he get the whole rack here?
Yeah.
He did. Okay. Switching back and forth, trying to catch a glimpse of Johnny Archer. And like I said from the very beginning, when Jayson gets on a roll, don't blink because he doesn't take long. We actually timed him in probably one of the hardest 8-ball games he had in a set. They were racing to whatever it was, 5 or 3. I forget what the race was to, in the NYC championships, 8-ball championships. And his clock was 51 point something seconds. We had him on a stopwatch. And that was the hardest rack of 8-ball he had in that set. Now you got to keep in mind that he had to wait till the cue ball to stop with that 51 point something seconds. So that's how fast he ran out. All right, Jayson Shore on the Gene's advised that he wins the whole rack.
Well, okay,
75.
I hope I'm not going to say check that like Ralph Kiner.
He's right. Well, you know what? Warren Kiamco didn't take the scratches off on his side of the board, though. He still has 36 on the opposite side.
Okay, the timekeeper is fixing the score on wait, okay. So yeah, I think we've had some scratches. Okay.
Nice break.
Yep.
Nice break. I'm going to have to run out there and see if we can grab him, Gene. What's his name? Do you know?
No.
I'm going to go take a look. Just I'll mute my mic, guys, and run out there. I just want to make sure I'm right.
Okay, rack looking extremely doable. 2 balls, left side that were stuck together. May not be stuck together for long. Upstate Al is checking the scores because we're not sure from our side that the players have deducted fouls.
Well, both scoreboards are reading the same thing, 75 to 36. I stand corrected again, but I know we back scratched, unless I missed the 2-ball that he did make. In any case, this is all recorded. Most of the time, you're going to find out it's Upstate Al. Trust me. I wanted an individual as a scorekeeper to be off to the side, just concentrated on the score. But it's so hard when you're trying to keep the score running and trying to watch both matches. It's tough. The young gun, Mr. Eagle Eye, still running this rack. Winds up just about perfect. Just stop the cue ball right there. Hold it up and got the break shot going. He winds up punching it and gets right to position anyway. He got the rack, huh, Gene?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Now I was distracted in a very wonderful way because King James Rempe, who is leaving soon, won't be able to do any play-by-play today, but stopped by to say hello.
Where did he go?
Man's good.
It's like a mosquito, huh? All right, so I guess we will not have Gene Rempe in here. Okay, coming back up. Another great break. And again, the 15 and the 4 tied up to the left side, bottom right-hand cushion, but the target is on.
15.
Was that combination, and there's just that small cluster in the middle of 3 balls, and they can be reached from the left side, or Jason's verifying that now, I think. Well, cluster gone, but we have moved the ball in an ugly position to the right side rail, so Jason's going to have to address that or come to the top.
You know, we're trying to keep you updated with the score with Johnny Archer and Talib on the other table, but Jayson giving us no air.
No, no.
Which is a pleasure to watch, too, by the way. Is this an easy one? 6-3, 14? Can I get this one right?
Don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Well, he's going to have to come off that rail after making a 14 to get right back in good position for the angle. Whoa, now.
Yeah, that's okay. Let's.
This is funny. He's got a little funny here. See?
Bong.
Should have just rolled it in, he said. That's a little funny. All right, so he's got 13 out of that pack. Bringing him to 102.
Okay. So Kiamco should have an opportunity to. What you're hearing, folks, is partially the effect of aramith balls and a metal rack, and partially upset at that ball not being accepted by the pocket.
48-13 in favor of Johnny Archer in the opposite table. As you see, Earl Strickland in the bottom right-hand corner, still playing Danny Baruti. Really good break shot. It sounded like Ed Sullivan. Really great show.
Okay. So I'm going to duck out for a minute or two. One of our sponsors is not the New York City Department of Transportation.
Gee whiz, Gene, get out there because they don't play games. Honest to God,
as a matter of fact, we're sponsoring them. No, I'm okay on time.
Oh, you're okay?
Yeah, okay.
All right, Gene. Gene will be right back. You definitely don't want to get a ticket out here, that's for sure. So we're letting Gene run off. I'm still looking for Jim Rep because if he's here, I'm going to try to grab him and pull him in the booth.
5.
As you hear Warren Kiamco call the 5. We're going to see if we can abuse Gene Rempe just a wee bit. We'd love to have his commentating in the booth. Man knows more than... Oh, there he is. Running around. See if we can catch him. I'm going to step away, guys. Keep an eye on the score. I gave it my best, but Jim Rempe was on his way. They don't want to catch traffic going back to the house, so they actually started walking out the door, and we said goodbyes. So we try. And I see Warren still up at the table. We're going to flash over. It's now 58-15 in favor of Johnny Archer. On the opposite table, we'll get a quick flash of the score. And Staliv, as he misses his shot. Warren Kiamco going for the bridge. Playing safe after a miss by Staliv. And good safe it is. And nestling up that cue ball against the 14 in the back of the table. All right, time to eliminate the 4 balls up table, leaving the 14 for his break shot. We would like to give a big shout out to OBQs, Andy Cloth, back to Warren, as he said to use the 4. I guess the 9 goes in the side pocket. It looks like there is some space in between the cushion and the 9. It might just nudge in there. If not, you'll see Warren tap it. No, it goes. Want it to be as straight in as possible. You can see him roll up just a few inches. Perfect. (51 to 102). Warren Kiamco makes another great shot. The 4 ball just rolls into position, not allowing Warren to have the 1. He does have the 8. And Gene Mann is back in the boots, making his donation to the New York City Department of Traffic.
Okay, so I don't know if Mayor Bill de Blasio is on the stream, but Your Honor, here's what we really need to do. Yesterday, we were in the round robin phase, 100 balls. 2-hour meters were reasonable. We're at 150. So why don't we go for 4 hours for meters on Steinway Street today and tomorrow, and go to 6 hours when we play 200 points on Saturday?
Because then it would make it easy for people to fill it up for 4 hours, and they would give out less tickets.
Okay.
It's all about revenue.
Oh, wait, I have, by the way, Mayor, you have 2 certain votes out here. There's guys out here with their thumbs up.
I'll be right back.
Okay, Warren puzzling through this rack. There's 2 balls, lower left-hand pocket, lying funny. Gotta deal with those. Okay. Dealt with some very fine position play. And I think 2 more balls are about to part company. Going up.
I'm sorry, I had to step out. Flatlands Freddie was MIA for 3 days, only to find out he went away for 5. And I was kind of worried and left a message on his machine. Those of you that don't know Flatlands Freddie, well, he still is a great player. Claims he can, but is on premises. So I had to jump out and say hello real quick. Did I miss anything, Gene, besides the run? Jayson sure we get out of his seat?
No, we've been sitting.
Okay.
We've been sitting.
So we're good.
And Warren has been working slowly around the table. It wasn't completely tied up, was completely problematic, but it required some thinking and some execution.
Well, when the score is 51 to 102, yeah, it's time to get more deliberate and second guess it. Unlike Jayson, if he gets the opportunity again, because Warren's capable of running out, if Jayson gets the opportunity, he just goes rampant, you know. That one break shot on that 14 where he jammed the pocket and didn't go in, he said, I should have slow rolled it up. You know, that kind of cost him. He could have been way ahead if he just took a second just to think, but such a rapid shooter and got the confidence, which he should have. Shoots great. Sometimes with this game, you got to sit back and take a second look.
Fine touch going 2 rails.
$59 to $34 in favor of Johnny Archer.
Okay, 65-102 is the count. Oh, Warren slid off the side of the pack, route down the rabbit hole, and Jayson buttons up his vest.
Just one.
And,
Just one ball. Huh? No. Yeah, 2 and then yeah, 2 then 1.
okay, 2 balls fell on the brakes, so they have to be spotted. again, you may seem shocking, but some of these younger
good.
players
It's fine.
actually don't know the rules.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, spotting 2 balls. Okay. So Warren was picking around, and Eagle Eye Shaw may be saying, oh, playing for 48. One orphan, balls off the rail. 3 balls, chevron up there in the upper right can be all accessible to the pocket from the right-hand side. Looks like a doable round. Here's where those chevron of balls gets simplified. Once again, he pushed balls together. He pushed the 5 ball to the rail unnecessarily and put those 2 balls together when they were apart, and now he has to break them up again.
All right, folks, we're going to have Tom Carabassos sit in with Gene the Man. Tom, come on and have a seat and welcome aboard.
Okay. Pleasure to welcome Tom Carabassos from Chicago, and
hey,
comes
Gene.
out of,
Glad to be here.
okay.
We're seeing some great pull this weekend. Jayson Shaw has a snooker background, and he can pot balls with the best of them. They don't pocket balls in England; they pot them.
They pot them. That's right. 12 by 6 tables with rounded corners, so you can't roll things. You've got to bang them.
I keep thinking flowers when I hear potting. You notice how he got a straighter angle on this break shot, where it tends to be more in line with the rack. When the object ball is close to the rack, you don't want a big angle on it, because sometimes if you have a thin cut, the cue ball will carry him off the rack and go back into that object ball, because it's not moving real quick if you hit it thin. So you want to get a little fuller on the shot, which is exactly where he's at. He'll draw it to the center of the table here with a little left-hand English. Well, it looked like he force-stunned that ball. The players this weekend have been hitting the balls with a lot of authority on the break shot. The reason being is because you can. You know, the pockets are accepting high-speed shots. The equipment is good. And, you know, why not get them open if you can?
Okay, so Tom spoke last night at the banquet. One of the features that I really like is the Unsung Heroes section that honored New Yorker Gene Nagy last year, and Chicago and Midwesterner Frank Sailor Stedman last night. And I wonder, how he would think about some of the patterns that these less traditional players use in taking apart a rack.
Well, Frank Stallman uses the triangle system, a lot, and so does Dallas West. We learned to leave certain balls that you can fall back onto the break shot. Like there's 3 balls near the center of the table, near the rack, and they could all be break shots. And depending on how you fall on a particular shot, is which break shot you leave. The players today tend to break them all open, and on one try they break the balls hard. You can't really learn straight pull like that. You should practice at hitting the break shot softer, and that forces you to work your way around the rack and figure out how to run balls. But when you're playing in a tournament, if you can, you get the balls open. But practice is something different. You want to learn traditional straight pull and working around a rack. You hit the break shot a little softer, draw to the center of the table softly, and work with what you got. You'd be surprised how players can get out with just 1 or 2 balls chipped away on the stack.
I got the impression during this week that the balls have been opening up better as the week has progressed. Have you noticed that, or just the tables that I've been looking at?
I think what happens is the players figure out how to break the balls. They learn the equipment, and if it's a little tricky to open up the balls at first, eventually the guys that are winning figure out how to do it. So that's one of the reasons you'll see a little better. At that Hall of Fame banquet, I was so nervous giving a speech. When we got except for somebody, Frank Stallman's the sailor. He couldn't be here. His health is poor. He wanted to be here, and when you're accepting for somebody else, you don't want to mess up. I was as nervous as could be, but everybody told me I did a good job.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I was thankful for that. Jayson just broke the balls. He's got a ball in the side pocket. You probably just draw close to the rail and get in the low ball here, or play for the side pocket. I'm surprised he went into the ball there. But the snooker players, the one thing that they do have that works good in straight pull is chipping away at a rack like this. So they're not afraid to go into one ball, bump it, get where they want to get, use that rail to go into them like they did. He saw right away his opportunity to break him up, and you always have that in the back of your mind. He wasn't necessarily playing for that angle when he bumped into that ball, but once he got there, he knew right away what to do.
Okay, by the way, we're going to update the score. The screen is behind, as a rack behind. So Jayson began this rack with 130, so he's playing for a rack plus 6.
The semifinal matches are to 150 points. Once they get down to the single elimination round of 16 players, there'll be 200-point matches. Jayson's moving along with a good pace. He's got break shots out there. I'd be surprised if he doesn't get on a break shot and get his 6 more that he'll need after this rack. Warren Kiamco, a great Filipino player, he won the 10-ball tournament that they had prior to this event. It was sort of like a warm-up, and 64 players, and he beat Dennis Hatch in the finals. He hit the break shot, but he didn't knock it into the rack, so he's okay. I told a story last night about Jim Rempe in Rochester. He ran 200 balls. He beat Mike Siegel, whose hometown was in Rochester, New York, and Irving Crane was in the audience. And Jayson's a little straight. He's going to try to bounce off the rail. He missed one powering up the rail earlier.
That's right. We recall that.
So he's going to hit it a little better. He decided to draw back. He had that plan from his last miss. And one thing we were talking about at the banquet, how players remember every shot they shot. You'd be surprised Rempe remembered which ball, Siegel missed, and, how he's got 6 kisses and scratched. Jayson remembered that he tried to pound off and go 1 rail, so this time he drew back.
Right.
Played 2 rail position for the break shot.
Playing for
Wow.
Whoa.
The cue ball went forward, and even
So Kiamco's got to be saying, well, his ball didn't go in, mine did. Of course, Kiamco hit his in at a much lower speed.
yeah, what happens is, sometimes you draw the ball, but you hit the bottom of the ball that you're contacting in the rack, and your cue ball goes forward. If you don't have the right speed on that draw shot, sometimes you hit it so hard that it's following through. The ball actually goes through before it starts coming back on a powered draw shot.
Playing for 2. Okay, this is good night, nurse. Okay, and Warren concedes the last point. And our first TV game is
150 to 65.
Well, folks, that's the first one on the pay-per-view live stream. We want to thank Tom Carabassos and Gene Mans for sitting in. I'm Upstate Al. We're going to be right back.